So Donnie Dove advances to our next match coming up just a moment. First, let's go over that final score, 151-129 over Ben McDonald. And now it is Don Dove and Mike Steinert. Match number 2 of 3 today, Joe, and this one should be a good one.
Well, two bowlers that have a lot of ability, and Mike Steinert, one of the hottest things in duck pins over the last year and a half, I would say. Put that ball on the floor. You know, Mike, I'm not going to take credit, but this guy has been almost impossible to beat since a tournament we did at PG. And I mentioned that when he gets himself excited, he throws the ball harder and gets it further out on the lane, and it kills it. And he has told me himself that he has never forgotten that he watched it. And he made an adjustment, apparently.
I guess so.
I'll probably be sorry.
Shortly after that, he set the Baltimore City record for 3 games. I think he went like 632 for 3 games, and he won 2 Pro Tours, won Bowler of the Year, second in Bowler of the Year points in 1992. Donnie's got... Well, it's one thing about Donnie Dove. You know, if he gets hot, a lot of strikes start showing up.
Well, and they bowl together a lot, being both from the Baltimore area. And I really believe when you're familiar with someone, the fear goes away. You know, it's and Mike can put some fear into you because you've got to beat him. What he's learned to do in his maturing process is not to beat himself. And the guy knows how good he is. And he does a lot of things right, Mike. I think I said it 2 years ago that he had about as good equipment as you can take out there. And the quicker he grew up, the better he was going to get. And he's come a long way.
Well, he rolled a 226 game as we watched Donnie flirt with a spare opportunity there.
18 in the first frame.
He rolled 1294 in the qualifying, including a 226 game in which he either had a strike or a 9 drop on every ball throughout the whole game. As close to a 300 game as you could probably get.
Well, and I'll tell you, Mike,
and everything was right there.
I would be willing to bet you that he has done that before, because he is that good. If you watch, he's right under the ball. His release is perfect. He's tall, slender, good leverage, good knee bend. Okay, Mike, you straighten up, boy. You're making me look bad. But he just, he's in that groove. And when you get a confidence level as high as his should be, look how he lost at the last tour at Hagerstown. Not a TV tour, but he goes 9 marks in a row, rips the middle, and loses the match.
Yeah, that was a tough one.
I tell you, the 2 frames he has bowled, he's 16 in the second to Don's 28. They may be the worst 2 frames he's bowled back-to-back all year.
Certainly in this tournament. I mean, you bowl 1294. You can't bowl too many bad games.
Well, they said he opened the last 6 frames of the qualifying, where he's high qualifier, which he's been
twice already.
And that's tougher than winning the tournament, Mike. It really is, because you're beating a field of anywhere from 135 to 170 bowlers for 8 games. It's tough. You can win head-to-head. You can win 109 to 108, but you can't outdistance a field.
So Mike gets his first mark in the match. And he was only 11 pins away from Ron Pavo's 1305, which was the high qualifier.
Big break, Mike. Big break there. Back the 6 into the 3 and has the 2-4 remaining.
Donnie Dove for the spare. He's got it. Donnie's Pro Tour winner. Won several years back. In fact, it was his first year on the tour. He won at the Barnum Lanes.
Sure did. Good bowler. Real good bowler. Real good attitude. A good head for a young bowler. Aren't you glad you're on a duck pin, Mike, with these 2 guys throwing at you?
Glad I don't have to bowl them, period. on this end or the other end.
And if you watch, there people say, well, you know, they throw the ball too hard. But it's not a lot of effort.
It's natural,
you know,
yeah.
Just
because it can't be overthrown, otherwise they wouldn't be as accurate as they are.
well, they get the turns on the ball. A lot of us, it happens to them too. If you jack that thing up another mile or two an hour, you never get the ball into the proper rotation. Wow, you won't see Mike do that too often. A quick 7 left the 14-pin lead for Don as Mike makes the triangle. 57 plus in the 4th for Don. Mike Steinert with that spare, 43 plus in the 4th. Mike goes to lane 7 for frame 5.
Approaching the midway point of this match, awaiting the winner here is Ken Palmer.
It would be my opinion that Mike's got it jacked up a couple mile an hour more than he needs it right now. See the pin action, I mean, he broke 8, but it's not good. I watched him today because I was in his division, and he knows it too. He's sort of popping off the ball a little early. He's not extending and staying with it as long as I've seen him do in the past. And the longer you can keep that ball in your hand and the further you have it out in front of you, the more turns you get on it. It gets out on the fingertips, and that's what causes what looks like luck to many people. But it's funny how the same people remain lucky.
Well, after a slow start, both bowlers starting to put the marks on the board.
15-pin lead for Donnie. Of course, Mike has his spare in the 5th frame. Don shooting at number 6.
A little different shot for you from...
That's our blimp. That's our overhead blimp, right?
Another mark for Donnie Dove. Get it up a little higher this time around, and really enjoy seeing the ball go down the lane.
Don't blink with these two guys bowling.
They were instructed beforehand, too, to keep pace so that we can get as much of these matches in. As you see, a beautiful strike from Donnie Dove. Well, Mike's got his work cut out for him as we'll take another look.
This is a 10. There, if you see that shot, a lot of people think that a good ball, the ball carries the 5-pin. And I'm telling you, it's not true, Mike. The 5-pin did not, or the ball did not hit the 5-pin on Donnie's strike. The head pin pushed back. Most strikes are something off the wall. You catch the 5-pin off the wall. If the ball actually hits the 5-pin, you've driven it a little too hard, and you're not getting the deflection that you need. 16-pin lead, 86-70 in the 5th.
Well, it's 4 in a row now. Mike Steinert opened the first 2 and come back with 4 in a row. Donnie himself has 4 in a row now, including a strike on the end.
Keeping the pressure on Mike, and only a matter of time for Mike. The thing that scares you with these guys is when they throw the strike, like Donnie has in the 6th, you know they're so capable of throwing another one. They're not your average 150 average bowler. .610 for a spare in frame 7.
Oh, let it go that time.
Now nice and smooth, he threw the 3rd one.
I think he was feeling a little bit of pressure there. Knew that Donnie had the strike and wanted to pick up another spare there.
You watch the bowlers going good, Mike, and I think you'll see that the guy going the best is actually the stillest at the line, at the point of release. See, Donnie? Very snug and...
There's a double.
What we call it?
I'm going to see it again and watch him as he delivers.
Down and under, nice and still. There you see a little movement after, but the ball's gone, and then watch the pin.
There's the
action.
5-pin you were talking about. Gets knocked off, pins off the wall, and Donnie Dove looking to make it 2 in a row here.
Well, see, I tell you, Town Hall Lanes makes us just a little better than we are because it expands our pocket. And when you give us a bigger target to shoot at, we're obviously going to hit that target more times. And at Town Hall, you're trying to keep the ball between the 2 and 3. And
There's a third one.
For this caliber bowler, that's pretty easy to do.
Second triple of the day for Donnie Dove.
Quite a weapon.
And this one was a good triple. The last one, although it wasn't bad, I mean, he did get a couple of fortunate rolls there, but this time they were 3 right in the pit.
Mr. Steinert is overthrowing, and the ball's getting off the pins a little quick. It's skidding. It's not getting into a roll. And sometimes, even Mike Steinert, you can't make the adjustment.
Well, it's awfully tough to try to press a little bit when the other guy's throwing strikes at you, like Donnie Dove is throwing strikes at him.
Well, what happens if Mike makes the 2-pinner in the 7th frame, though, Mike? You know what I mean? It's,
yeah, something else.
I guarantee you, when he hit the back pin on that 2-pinner, that Donnie left out a little bit of air and just relaxed a little bit.
Just not getting the
Well, but
5-pin at that point.
Once again, win or lose, Mike Steinert's had another terrific tour. He's going to put points on the board. Of course, he's chasing Kenny Palmer, who will be on our next show.
Oh, this show.
Next day,
match, right? Well, Mike is on par for 150 kind of game.
Yeah, well, we didn't. I didn't mean to make it sound like he was bowling horrible, but when you got somebody like Donnie throwing 3 spares and then a triple header, but it's not Mike's normal game.
Yeah, he looked a lot of sink even in the first 2 frames.
Well, and when you have somebody making 3-pinners and stuff, Mike Steinert shoots singles. A lot of singles.
Well, he's been sharp through the first 2 games. Sets up an interesting matchup again next match between he and Ken Palmer.
Sure does. He's out at 200. We need a count, Mike. Need a count and a mark for 200. A TV 200.
Well, maybe he'll do it all in one ball with a strike here. Nope.
We haven't had any? We still have not had a 200?
Not a scratch 200, I don't think.
He needs this and 8. Taking odds? Pete would probably bet me, but he's in a trailer.
All right, let's see what happens here. Ooh. Is there a 190 or a 191?
192.
192.
Nice game.
Donnie Dove, 192. And he has won a second straight one and advances to meet Ken Palmer. We'll do all that for you coming up right after this.